I feel like the girls are slowly getting the concept of things, and we're getting into buying into the program and performing better. They're starting to have a lot of chemistry together, and it's starting to show on the floor to where we're going to start getting the results we need. So.
Yeah. We're at a good spot right now. Currently we're 9-5. Just won our first region game the other day, so we're 1-0 in region play. Starting to get everybody kind of back healthy. So looking forward to kind of seeing what we look like once we are all fully equipped. Currently we're the top 10 in the state of South Carolina in 3A, so just trying to continue to build.
Okay. Okay. How are you expecting these upcoming games to play out?
I'm hoping that we can take care of business. I've told the girls that if they can, then we'll finish 11-8, which is way better than they did last year. So that's kind of our mindset, and they're very doable games that we can take care of.
Yeah, every game for us, and as well as Coach Bree, to me are like must-win games. It's region play starting tonight, obviously with Chapman at home. We have to do the best we can to protect home court. Chapman is having a really good year. So far they're 12-3 and they are 1-0 in region as well. So I think from the boys side of things, tonight is going to be a huge telling for I think both teams. And then obviously going forward, you can't look past any opponent because I feel like with us at MVP, we definitely have a target on our back. And so, you know, my responsibility is just make sure my guys are prepared each and every night.
What is your mindset going into tonight's game?
Take care of business. You got to focus on the little things and play all 4 quarters without any slack.
Yeah, tonight for us, I mean, it's going to be an emotional game. Obviously, with MVP being a new school, kind of Chapman being the crosstown rival, we have obviously several coaches that have went to Chapman as students and played at Chapman or coached at Chapman. You have a student body with some people that have came from Chapman. And so I definitely know it's going to be an emotional night. I look forward to being an exciting night from both teams. Obviously, at the end of the day, the job is to try to go out there and do the best we can to get the win. But my biggest thing is all about growth. And so as long as we go out there and dot our I's and cross our T's, we'll let everything else take care of itself.
What made you want to start coaching?
That's a question I ask myself every day. You know, I think at the end of the day that our role is more than just coaches. You know, it's to be mentors. It's to fill in those blanks that certain people may have. You know, some people have homes where they may not have a mother or father, obviously, or they just may not have someone that can kind of help them along the way. And so, you know, my job is to just try to give back to the best of my ability and to serve these people and give them wisdom that I've been able to gain over my years as well. So.
And I can just agree with what he said, just being able to pour back. This is my way of giving back to the community. Just being able to teach you guys things that I've learned and things that wasn't taught to me at this age, and just being able to apply like life skills along with everything else into the sports world as well. So.
Who do you guys think are going to be our biggest competitors this season?
I think everybody we're playing right now in region play is our biggest competitors. So just taking it one game at a time.
Yeah. You know, for us, I tell my guys it's us versus us. I think our biggest competitors are the people that we see every single day, which is ourselves. You know, the goal is to continue to try to stack the right habits. You know, some days you don't have a day where you want to practice, but that day can also affect you for a game day, right? And so, you know, obviously not to put anything past our opponents because, again, they have to prepare as well. Just like I said earlier, Chapman is going to be a tough opponent, but at the same time, we're going to be even more of a tougher opponent. And so, you know, my thing is continue to focus on our daily process and growth.
What is the preparation leading up to this game look like?
We've watched film, lots of film. We've watched a couple of their last couple games. We watched our film, and then in practice, we just kind of focus on the little things that kind of beat us in our last game, and we focus on those things so that we can perfect it and kind of make sure it doesn't happen again for the next game.
Yeah, our game prep is always kind of the same. Obviously, you try to talk about the opponent, but you try not to put too much emphasis on it as much because you don't want your guys to go away from what they need to do. And so, for us, we continue to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do within our philosophy. Obviously, we watch a little film of every opponent to kind of get a familiarity with them as well, as Coach Bree was stating about her group. And then we just get ready to play, man. It's to me, at the end of the day, it's basketball. It's something that we've been obviously doing now since, early parts of November. It's just the colors of the team, the color of the uniforms, and the name of the team just changes, but it's still basketball. So, my thing is to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing consistently.
Guys in the back. Jerry? You don't remember it? Okay. Daniel?
What are your expectations for players in the offseason?
Yeah. Great question. Obviously, right now, my focus is on end season. Again, we have, my group has 7 seniors, and so I need to make sure that we maximize our opportunity that we have for these current seniors before I focus on kind of what the returners are going to look like. Again, not to go away from your question, but the goal is to continue to evolve and get better. And so we'll take, when the season do conclude, and hopefully we still have some time before that happens, but when the season conclude, we'll go back and obviously look at our weaknesses, look at the areas of our strengths, and then try to implement a plan to allow everybody to improve so we can obviously maximize the opportunities going forward after that.
How are you going to help your players succeed?
I'm sorry, say it again?
How are you going to help your players succeed?
Yeah. You want to answer that?
By giving them the tools, the proper tools. So that's what practice is for, the preparation, us watching film, all of that is the proper tools that we are giving them to help them succeed in the game. And so like he said earlier, basketball is basketball. Nothing changes except for your opponent really, and just how they play. So what you do in practice is basically it's gonna prepare you for how you play. And so I feel like, I know for me, my point of view, I know that I provide the girls with every tool that they need to be able to succeed and perform on the court when it's time. So,
yeah. So for me, obviously, to help my players specifically be successful, it starts off the court. I think as an athlete, that's a small time frame for them, and so. For some kids, I've had for only 6 months. Some of them I have, 2 years. Some I have a little longer than that. And so my job is to try to get them as many skills as I possibly can, but they revolve around life, and then hopefully allow them to apply those things within the basketball or the framework of as an athlete, because obviously I have multi-sport athletes as well. But I definitely think it starts with the life skills as being successful. So.
Peter, have you got that?
What is one habit you wish all players had?
Say it again.
What is one habit you wish all players had?
listening consistently.
Yeah. That's a great question. I think my biggest thing before you can even do that is trust. I think everybody has their own agenda, and that's individually, as an individual player, coaches, parents, teachers, but we all have to build a level of trust to where we can apply those things of being able to listen. We always say people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. But I think that care starts with the ability to trust. And once I think you can add that line of trust in there, I think it actually allows the other habits and qualities to kind of take front. That's a great question, though.
What inspires you guys?
Say it again.
What inspires you guys
To coach or to just,
to coach?
yeah.
For me, it's the students, you guys, the players. So just being able to give back, and also like Dawn Staley's one of my biggest idols, Dawn Staley and Pat Summitt. So I grew up watching them and just literally wanted to follow in their footsteps. So that's my inspiration.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, most coaches, they were inspired by someone. You know, like she said, she's speaking about former coaches that she had. Obviously, for me, you know, I've had a lot of coaches that have poured into me and sacrificed a lot to help me get to where I'm at. And so, you know, it's really just giving back. You know, that's the most important thing for me. I don't really limit it to just my student athletes. I do the best I can to try to serve, you know, everyone I come in contact with. So really just trying to serve, man, and give back to the best of my ability.
Austin.
What kind of coach do you want your players to see you as?
Someone that loves them, someone that's not afraid to tell them the truth, someone not afraid to hold them accountable. But then the most important thing for me, you know, I really try to teach my players, you know, how to have self-awareness. You know, I want them to be able to look themselves in the mirror and speak in whatever area they feel like they need to allow them to grow. But I want that to be honest. I want that to be truthful. And so I don't have to be their favorite coach. I don't have to be the best coach they've ever had. I don't do this for that type of validation. I really just do it for them to be able to grow and be the best version of themselves they possibly can be, because they're not going to be 17, 18, and 19 years old forever. Eventually, these young men are going to go off and become husbands and fathers, and they're going to just be in this world as a man. And I hope that my coaching habits and the things that I try to instill in them are just a little small part of their learning curve of whatever they need to do.
Yeah. For the girls' point of view, I feel like it's, I want them to see me as someone that they can actually trust in. They can actually trust and believe and know that I have their back. And that's something that we kind of talk about every day. It's just knowing that we can lean on each other and support each other. And they know that I have their back on and off the court. So.
Okay.
What are the benefits of coaching your teams?
What are the benefits of coaching our teams? I mean, for me, just being able to be a consistent voice in their life. Obviously, when you talk about coaching, it's something that you're dealing with daily. So you have a real opportunity to impact young people in so many different ways. And I speak heavily with my group about being consistent. And so hopefully that my message that I'm trying to share with them, at the consistency that I'm trying to do it with, I hope that that's something that allows it to penetrate their minds and their hearts, So I think that's like the benefit of being able to coach, here, but just coach in general, is you're able to have a consistent voice.
Jada is actually coming to one of the games to record tonight, so.
Awesome, Jake. You gonna get your brother? You gonna get a lot of video of him, don't you?
How do you motivate your players on and off the field?
How do you, Miss Bree?
Do a lot of inside threats. No, I'm just playing. No, just letting them know, like, again, supporting them, and that, your actions have rewards, and so if you perform well, then you'll have the results that you want. And so just trying to motivate them with little things, like we have little incentives every game or every practice, just different things to kind of help them understand, like, it's more than just basketball. And so if you want to do this, if you're choosing whatever you're choosing to do in life, you actually have to put forth effort. And so it's not just going through the motions or going day by day. You actually have to put in your heart so that you can get the results out of it. So,
I think anytime you have an opportunity to praise your individuals, I think you have to do it, right? I think for us, a big part of us is getting outside your comfort zone. I feel like the more I stretch my guys to get uncomfortable, the more they grow. And so anytime I see an opportunity where I see that they are growing, of course I try to communicate that. But I think the biggest way to really bring that to fruition is being honest. I just think you have to not be afraid to tell your individual players the truth. And, you know, I try to tell my guys all the time, I'm not saying these things to hurt you or belittle you, nor does it do me any service to say these things, but I do hope that it allows us to kind of figure out how we can approach it differently, so you can continue to maximize your full potential. And so, you know, I do think you have to have a happy medium in terms of praising them and making them feel valued in that manner. But I also think you have to have the other side where you're just, you know, you're honest with them and upfront and showing them that, hey, I love you. This is why I'm honest with you. So.
How do you as a coach personally prepare for a game?
Say it again.
How do you as a coach personally prepare for a game?
How do you prepare, Miss Bree?
I usually do a couple of minutes by myself of going over like what we need, our strengths and our weaknesses. I like to listen to some music, and then I have to go deal with the girls. So then we just kind of talk to each other, we listen to music, we kind of do a little dancing and just getting our energy up, and then we go out and play.
Yeah. You know, I think for me, I speak the word consistency, but I think every day kind of changes, especially before a game. You just kind of got to read the temperature of what your group may need. You know, I love to go into every game kind of locked in and focused on my own accord. You know, like Miss Bree said, you know, obviously music, prayer, just kind of some individual one-on-one time for myself and with God to allow me to be the best version of myself as well, because, you know, there's a lot of decisions that come when you start going into a game. And so you have to kind of start, you know, visualizing what it's going to look like even before it shows up. However, you also never know what your players are going to be in that moment as well, right? You know, some players may be dealing with something on a game day that requires more energy from you than you normally are giving out. And so, you know, I literally just try to be balanced and just be prepared to whatever I may need to do, take care of. So, but I'm always ready.
All right. So tonight's game's against Chapman and Limestone, right? The girls play 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys play at 7:30. What do you want to let the fans know?
It's camouflage tonight. It's our theme.
Yeah, camo night. Yes, camo night. You know, I look at it like this. You know, obviously, these young men and young women, they do a lot. They sacrifice a lot to try to represent our school. And obviously, we understand that this is, you know, a results-driven type of business, to where people think if your record is really good, then you're good. If your record's bad, you're really bad. But you know, Bree, obviously her being a first-year head coach, she has an unbelievable energy around her team. Have a lot of young girls that are their first time playing basketball that are trying, and so people like to talk about the boys. I want people to show up to continue to show support to the girls. She's gonna do an unbelievable job, not just this year, but for the rest of this time. And so just let these girls see that people care about them and believe in them. And then in terms of with the boys, and I'm not trying to split us up, you know, it's our job to continue to try to create a level of excitement. You know, I'm in my second year. We have a chance to go for win number 10 this year. Last year we had 10 total wins in our very first year. And so for us to be going into our second game of region and already have a chance to, you know, tie the same number of wins we had last year isn't a testament of how hard my young men have been working. And so all the support, you know, that has happened, especially when they see their peers there, you know, is greatly appreciated. But just know these young men and women are doing everything they can to represent MVP to the best of their ability and continuously trying to make everybody proud. So.
All right, well, thank you guys for coming. We
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.